Okay, so this is Sharonda again, and this is my podcast as well as my YouTube channel, A Spiritual Sense. Today is Thursday, which is August the 25th. And in this podcast, as well as this YouTube channel, I go over topics in regards to the paranormal, occult, and supernatural. So I speak on things such as hauntings, curses, out-of-body experiences, soul travel, near-death experiences, astral projection, third eye opening. I also speak about pagan belief systems and practices such as atheism, voodoo, hoodoo, white magic, black magic, Wiccan, witchcraft, to name a few. I'd like to start off by saying that this podcast, as well as this YouTube channel, is for entertainment purposes. It's an open social discussion on various topics. It's not a debate, okay? So, um, I want to also reiterate that I'm not a religious person. I don't affiliate with no specific belief, practice, or religion, okay? I consider myself to be a spiritualist, psychic like, intuitive, okay? So with that being said, oftentimes, when I do various topics, you will see me refer back to the biblical text. I don't know 1/10 of the Bible, so I can't argue with many people in regards to the Bible because I don't know it. And I don't even profess to know a lot, many of the things that's in there. Okay. So we're going to proceed with the tarot card reading for, and I'm sorry, not the tarot card reading, the topic for today. So the topic for today is spiritual apathy. Spiritual apathy. Now, that is when I first looked up, because I did this, I did a podcast, I want to say last year or possibly the year before last, in regards to spiritual apathy, and I did an update possibly last year on it. And so let's look up the term apathy. Well, apathy is complete lack of emotion about a human being, a thing, or an activity. So it mentions in regards to boredom, reduced affect display, flow, lack of pleasure, empathy, arousal, worry, dysphoria. Apathy is not related to an underlying condition. It may be caused by drugs, marijuana is what it has indicated here, loss of faith in oneself, the belief that you would never reach your goals, bereavement. So spiritual apathy, again, can be that someone is what? Empathetic and are picking up on the feelings of someone who's close to transition phase. Particularly, you will notice that certain professions may have what they refer to as burnout, but you will begin to notice spiritual apathy. It is a sense of complacency. Some people may refer to it as laziness or whatever the case may be. But basically, spiritual apathy, in my personal opinion, because I have felt that a time or two is borderline to when you are severely burned out. I also think spiritual apathy can come by way of, apart from anything that's maybe emotional or medical, but trauma and severe trauma and repeated trauma can bring about these emotions as well. Like, this is the body way of coping with what has been presented to me. Like, this is my defense mechanism to completely shut down, because every time I is this, every time I is that, every time I that is this. So you don't know how to be. And particularly when you have situations such as this, it would desensitize the person. God will put it in their countenance as such. I mean, words cannot even explain it. Spiritual apathy. So I have a website pulled up, but I'm going to click on another website in regards to spiritual apathy, because, bullying is something that healthcare professionals deal with on a day-to-day basis. They bully each other. You get bullied by family members. You get bullied by your family members. You get bullied by your bosses. So it's constant, 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 constant. I say put your gloves on, go in and do a better job. And then you'll see what the perpetuating cycle is. Not just in healthcare. I just so happen to talk about healthcare because that's what the profession I'm in. I presume it's the same way as a social worker, or the same as anybody that's your emergency first responders, your teachers, as such. So this is not something that's just specific to one particular profession or career. I think this is something that many people can relate to. And so in situations such as this, when you see that there is a extreme burnout, an extreme lack of concern, do you sit back and to continue to waddle and complain? No, you get up and be proactive and help with assist them with some things that you may not want to do. I mean, sometimes you have to rearrange your life to accompany the desires that you want. And as I sit here and speak, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Many people may not want to hear this. Oh well. Uh, Social workers, teachers of the sort, ultimately, we do have everyday freedoms and rights, but know and trust and believe, if you see there's lack, are you going to continue to let things fall by the wayside because there is a lack? No, you want to stand up and be more proactive in that. Many people may get angry about those words that I just mentioned, but it is absolutely the truth. Okay? It's absolutely the truth. So we're going to, give me just a moment. I am going to put in this here, and that's how that goes. Okay. Okay. So getting back to where I was speaking about. Okay, so 7 early symptoms of spiritual apathy. And this is by way of a website that I'm on with the church. And this is the pastor's account. It mentions decline in attendance. So, it may be in reference to, it may affect productivity. I guess I give a better explanation with that. Spiritual apathy can have a lot to do with work performance and productivity. Okay. Lack of concern for souls is what it has mentioned here. So not only do you have low self-esteem, but you don't value yourself and you don't value others. This here is a hallmark sign of someone who may be exhibiting spiritual apathy. Lack of participation, it says, in congregational singing, but I'm gonna paraphrase it and I'm gonna say lack of participation in teamwork, coming together in regards to whatever the goal is at hand. There's a difference between doing things that is for the job and doing things that is for personal gain. Okay. Indifference to the needs of others, like just showing no sense of concern, ambition, no sense of proactiveness. It says no pastoral encouragement, no inner peace, no spiritual base, no spiritual sense of purpose is what I will paraphrase it as. There's a lack of sense of purpose to life. What is the point? What is the use type of attitude? Typically, you would begin to realize that what you're picking up on is how the people that you are taking care of feel. So take note of that. Declining concern for missions. Again, there's a lack of motivation, a lack of guidance. There's no mission, no drive, no goal, no nothing. And oftentimes that's perpetuated when a person vision has been tarnished. Like the things that I see and this existence has been nothing but trauma, nothing but pain, agony, as such. So there is a lack of mission, no, a lack of purpose. Again, failure to invest in the next generation, of course. So because I am living in my this time and space. Okay, so I have a hard time seeing things better for you because everything's falling down in my world. I have a hard time being optimistic about the capabilities for you when things always seem to be falling apart in my time and space. So these are the hallmark signs of someone who is what? Early symptoms of someone who is spiritual apathetic or apathy. 5 signs of spiritual apathy, familiarity, when they begin to become lethargic. I just mentioned that. Like the ambition is not there. There is words just cannot explain it. Apart from receiving proper nutrients, proper diet, oxygenation, and things of the sort. It's just a deep down unhappiness, boredom. When you start feeling like everything is monotonous, I'm doing the same thing over and over again. What is the point? What is the use? Mediocrity, mediocrity. Um, the same old. Um, disconnection. When there's no spirit base, you lack a spirit base, you lack a connection, you lack a relationship with God. And basically, because of that lack of communication and relationship with God, the ability to speak to Him on a higher scale of things and connect with Him, it will perpetuate a need to do things that are unfavorable, negative things that are unfavorable for you. Passivity, passivity. There's no need to fight. The fight has been drawn out in you. Some people who has spiritual apathy have a hard time even breathing, have a hard time breathing, have a hard time talking, have a hard time speaking. And you can tell it, you can hear it. I mean, it's just like they're shouting, but nothing can come out. So I trust and believe I know what that feels like. It's not a good feeling. Number one, you want to make sure you're properly hydrated, having your vitamins and minerals, that you are in tune with the spirit, and that you are active, connect with nature, get in tune with the spirit again, listen to some music that help ease you and comfort you, and you will be back. You will do fine. But spiritual apathy is a real thing. It's very, very common, I do believe, amongst many professions. Many people may refer to it as burnout. You may have heard that term before. Oh, I'm so burnt out. That means it gets to the point where you just feel like a walking shell, like a robot, so to speak. This is common, many times you may not be able to recognize it when you are what? When you're new and you're fresh and um you're eager to learn, and once the eyes has been conditioned to see, then you'll be like, okay, yeah. So that's basically what that is. Spiritual apathy is real. So basically, you want to connect with your spirit guides, connect with your spirit guides, your ancestors, to assist you in times of trouble, to provide you with infinite knowledge, wisdom, capability, and understanding. Once you do that, you have nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. Okay. So I do thank you for tuning in to this episode of Spiritual Sense, speaking about spiritual apathy. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you are welcome to comment below. Until then, you have a safe and wonderful day. Good day.